When you manage, you're managing a task. When you're leading, you're inspiring. So leadership has to be a step bigger. It has to be a vision that people can see and get behind and care about. I run the division that includes all of the local businesses that are part of NBCUniversal, the Telemundo television stations, the NBC television stations, and the regional sports networks. There are about 52 individual businesses across the United States and Puerto Rico. My main role is guiding the overall strategy for the division. I always tell people that I'm mentoring to look at managers in terms of who they want to be and who they don't want to be. You can learn from a manager whether they're a good manager or a bad manager. You can either learn what to do or what not to do. But to always think about the leadership style that they're seeing and then think about the kind of leader they want to be. Don't lead ego first, that it's not about you. It's about the business, it's about the television station, it's about what we're trying to do serving the community. It's kind of natural for a manager to care about their team and to want to do what's best and right for their team. The relationships that they often undervalue are the peer relationships. The higher you get up in an organization, the more important it is that you coalesce groups of people together. And the only way you can do that is with respect for your peers and an ability to persuade your peers and to bring them on board. Transparency to me is huge. Everybody wants to understand why they're doing what they're doing. So making sure that everyone in the organization understands where you're headed and why, and that they can get answers to the questions when something doesn't seem to make sense to them. I actually was not going to go into journalism. I was working 3 jobs at the time trying to pay for school, and a job opened up at the television station, and I went for the job and literally begged them to hire me, literally did. And they did, they hired me. And so I started at the very bottom and just worked my way up. One of the toughest things was not having female role models. At the time, a lot of men didn't want women in television. And they would say, you know, women getting into TV has ruined the industry. Be patient with people when they say things that are hurtful or say things that are like, you know, it's just like get you a little bit, to try to take a breath and figure out a way to open up their mind as opposed to attack them. A woman can't manage the same way that a man can. A woman needs to manage from her own strengths, many of which come from her, just who she is as a woman. I've had to struggle with the fact that I'm older now and that younger people coming into the business are different from me. I feel that anybody who was raised with a cell phone in their pocket has had a different experience in their life than I had. Some of the things that worked for me as a leader in years past will not work for the generations that are coming up now. So I have had to really think and evolve my leadership style to make sure that I'm not managing like I did 20 years ago. Where I grew up was in a park. It's in a national park, Angelina National Forest in East Texas. And we had a scrawny antenna, and sometimes we got TV and sometimes we didn't. I grew up rehabilitating wildlife. I took in wildlife and I've had deer. I raised 3 baby woodpeckers, had flying squirrels, I had hawks. And I believe that they have taught me to read nonverbal communication really well. I think that I found, like, later in my career, that I was good at picking up on whether somebody was with me or not with me, or what their concerns were without them actually articulating them. And I think all those years of working with wild animals taught me to read nonverbal communication. I always had that interest in how you could take a station and make it a really great, fun, energizing place where people enjoyed coming to work. And I could see how a manager could make it miserable for somebody or could make it really great for somebody. I wanted people to enjoy work